And welcome. Good morning to you. Welcome. This is Money Monday. Ndawangela Kabete, and what we do here on Money Monday, we talk about matters that to do with business, investment that will help you as a person to grow. Have you been struggling to save? To invest, or have you been struggling when it comes to finding that is a financial stability? This is the right place for you. You get all the tips. We bring the best financial advisors to educate you, to help you as a day-to-day person, unlock your mind and understand, why do I need to start this culture of saving? Why do I need to invest? As a business person, you get to learn, how can I grow my business? How can I diversify my business? If my business collapses, what are the do's and the don'ts when it comes to a business? As an investor, are you supposed to invest your money in one place? What are you supposed to do so that money can work for you? This is the right place for you. So stay tuned, because today we are diving into something that is truly transformative, something that I'm sure you've ever thought about it. Either you made a step or you've not made that step. So today we're talking about that is unlocking financial freedom through saccos. Have you ever thought of saccos? You as an individual, you have that kachama, chama ya merry-go-round, but have you thought about saccos? Do you know what is a sacco? Do you have an understanding of why you need to save your money? What do you mean by saccos? Because that is something that we are yet to discover today. And in case you have any question, please feel free to talk to us on 079 200 100, and still pale kwa mtandao, that is on Facebook and YouTube at Mizpah Tv Kenya, hashtag ni Money Monday. We're here to help you. We have an amazing guest, with us. She's full of experience, wisdom. Her name is Jane. She works with Cosmopolitan Sacco. She works with in the Department of Sales and Marketing and Credit. So stay tuned as we learn more about saccos. Without further ado, allow me to introduce her to the show. Madam Jane, how are you?
I'm good.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Uko salama?
Niko salama kabisa.
We are so honored to have you today.
I'm grateful too to be here. It's such an honor, and I'm grateful to God for giving us such a good day.
Yeah.
To talk about what we're here to do.
Yeah, that is saccos. Utambie, how much do I need to? Can I be in a sacco?
Yes. Anybody can be in a sacco, including that person who feels like their income is too low.
Hata mtu wa 500.
Hata mtu wa 500. You can imagine starting off from whatever amount you have. There is no much money and there is no little money.
Okay. There is no much money and there is no little money.
Yes.
So help us understand, educators, what is the importance of having a sacco? What makes a sacco, actually start with, what makes a sacco different from a bank?
First, a sacco means savings and credit.
Okay, that is a sacco.
Okay, yes. So we start with saving, and then you get credit. So once you get into a sacco, you save to get credit. And when you save, you start with whatever you have.
Any little amount?
Any little amount.
Approximately.
And I thank God that we have forums where we have the Paybills, we have the mobile banking. So you can deposit whatever amount you get daily. There are people who would say that they earn maybe 300 per day. And maybe when budgeting, they will feel like I can spare some, maybe 100 shillings, 50 shillings. Whatever amount is left, and you can spare, save from as little as whatever you are capable of saving. When it comes to saving, tunasemanga that you don't have to save extreme at ile una feel you're going to the extreme. You just have to save what you're comfortable with, as long as your budget allows.
Okay, so help us understand, because unajua kuna mtu anajiambia mimi nizaenda niweke pesa kwa bank. What is the difference between a bank and a sacco?
Remember, a sacco gives you a chance to save. These savings at the end of the year will earn you an interest or dividends.
Okay, so that is what creates the difference.
The difference. In a bank, you will have your money. At the end of the year, there is no time you'll be called for an AGM to share the interest. You have a loan, and maybe you have already withdrawn whatever amount you had, but in a sacco your savings are still safe. The savings will give you credit, and also the savings will give you interest at the end of the year. I believe you have heard of most saccos. They do an AGM at the end of the financial year, whereby they call all the members to know the financial status of the institution, to know where they stand as at the end of that year. They will know whether they have made an improvement, or it is just a day-to-day business, or it is just they will know the state of their institution or organization. And at the end of it all, that is where we announce the dividends and the interest rates as at that year.
Okay, talking of dividends, please, can you help us understand what do you mean by the term dividends?
In a sacco we have shares, and we also have savings or deposits. Shares, or the capital shares, or in other terms mandatory shares, are what equalizes members in a sacco. Sacco is not owned by individuals. Sacco is owned by members, because these members are the people that come together to pull their resources, to pull their savings together for loaning. There are people who just invest in a sacco, not necessarily for loans, but to get the returns, that is in form of dividends and the interest. So when you join a sacco, there are shares that we call mandatory shares. Mandatory shares equalizes all the members, and that is why we say it is owned by members.
So anybody who joins a sacco becomes a member?
Yes, when you contribute the mandatory shares that are capped at a certain level depending on the sacco. Giving an example, we have maybe for the cash members, you may find a sacco that is giving it at 10,000 shillings. So once you hit that 10,000 shillings, it is capped at 10,000. There are those that go up to an extreme of opening up the floor. You can deposit whatever amount. Then we have the amount above this 10,000. That is your savings. That is your deposits. And the deposits are what gives you loans, with the multiplying factor depending on the sacco. Now the mandatory shares will give you dividends.
Okay, now that is what gives you dividends.
Yes. At a rate announced during that year.
At the end, usually do it at the end of the year?
It depends on the sacco end of year, because now, like for us, our year ends on December. So by January, what washakula dividends?
What
washakula dividends? So we have the now this 10,000 earns you the dividends. The interest is based on your savings, and the savings is not capped. You can invest as much as you can to whatever amount. It is open, like it is not roofed. You can advance to whatever level. We have people who have millions. You can imagine having $1 million as your savings, and the rate at that particular year is 12% or more. Like for us, we gave at 12.04% interest.
And now let me ask, when you talk mambo ya interest, when it comes to sacco, mnakuanga affected with the economic downturns, things to do with inflation, ama you're secured, kama ni 12.04 haitakuwa affected, it's stable mpaka at the end of the year?
12.04 is on the interest on your savings, not on loan. This 12.04, with your 1 million, that means you'll have 120,000 plus as interest. Hizo ni pesa zenye the organization or your money has worked for you. As you said earlier, having your money work for you. So you have your 120,000 clean money.
And that 12.0%, it's not changing. Kama ni January mlisema ni 12.04%. Itakaa hivyo mpaka mwisho, in case something happens with the taxes it affect.
Remember, this is an interest announced at the end of the year. Hii ni interest ya kupewa interest.
Oh, at the end of the year.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is not a fluctuating figure throughout the year. The only thing yenye labda ina affecting maybe other organizations is the interest on loans.
Oh, that is what is being affected.
Yes.
Okay.
But for us, the good thing with saccos, saccos are not governed by the CBK. They are governed by a body called SASRA, that is Sacco Regulatory Authority. So when it comes to the interests, when the CBK hikes, or during the inflation periods like what we had recently, you find that banks are affected and their interest rates rise to a certain figure. Unapata wengine ni 17 kuendelea. But for saccos, we remained at 1% per month, reducing balance. Okay. So that means if at all your loan started at 1%, to the end of it, you'll still repay it at 1% per month on reducing. And that is what creates the difference between a bank and a sacco. Because once you take up a loan, let's say you have taken up a loan of 120,000, and you're paying it within a year, that means you'll pay at a constant rate of the principal at 10,000. When it comes to the interest, for the first month, you'll pay it at 1% of that principal, that is 120. That is 1,200 shillings. When it comes to the second month, we are talking of reducing balance. When we come to the second month, we will have 1% of 110,000. So it is on the reducing balance, not the initial, not on the initial amount. And that is where, when you're considering a sacco to join, make sure you know the interest rates of the loans.
Okay. I love the way you are bringing it out, you know, when it comes to the difference between a bank and a sacco. And now help us understand, before to dive in, things to consider when you join a sacco. You know, what are the core benefits of a business person joining a sacco? Apart from, you know, saving.
Yeah. When we talked of it's open to all, kuna ule mama mboga, kuna ule mkulima, and everyone that would feel they need to grow. Once you join a sacco, make sure you have a goal.
Okay, so make sure you have a goal.
Because it's not all about just saving. There are people who save for investment purposes. There are people who save to get credit to advance maybe their farming, their businesses.
Business, you know.
There are people who save maybe to help them maybe acquire property. There are people who save maybe to educate their children. So we have the diverse products. And the good thing is we diversify the products to fit in your need.
Wow.
And that is where a business person who comes to us will benefit. Once you start saving, maybe you have a project in 1 year. We give you the outline. Maybe when you save with us, we will give you maybe a free Paybill sticker where you can channel your income, the business income. That is a safe place for your income. Unless you figure out something that will help you, something else, but at least with the free Paybill, your money will be safe. You'll have a constant track of your records. You have something that you can get back to even years later to assess, maybe on this month I had sales of this amount, the following month I had. So with the free Paybill, your customers will be able to deposit money into your account. That helps in the making your current account very active, and also making your finances safe for reference, and also it is not prone to risks of disappearing, theft, and all that. Yeah.
So you umesema when it comes to the products, you have different products catered for different people.
Yeah.
Product ya mama mboga, ifanani kama na ya day-to-day person, give them different products.
Okay, when it comes to products for the cash members, we have biashara loans. That is for anyone who would love maybe to put up a business, to boost their business, to farm. We also have Mama Mboga is also included in that because they are all cash members. And when it comes to the rate, it is all the same. Hakuna ati kudiscriminate ati huyu ni Mama Mboga, huyu ni mwanabiashara shupavu, hakuna ati ile kuangalia ati tunakuangalia. We serve our members equally. Despite where you feel you are a member, and that is why a sacco is member centered.
Let me ask, do you do follow-ups on clients before? Because, people believe if I join a sacco, inasaidia mtu on financial discipline. What do you do to make sure that kama mtu ameingia na purpose ya kutaka kugain financial discipline, this person still get us? Do you do checkups? What do you do?
We do checkups. We also have education days.
Okay, for the members.
Yes.
That's interesting.
And this education days involves even groups. We have chamas, people who maybe have joined and they have the projects that they want to achieve maybe in a certain period. And for the education days, we have our board of directors who are very committed to ensuring the members get the best. So with the education days, we teach them, we encourage them, we at least follow up on what they do, and also encourage them to continue as we also enlighten them maybe on the new products that we have, the need to save, the need to maybe be in those chamas, the coming up and even the networking with other people who are of the same.
Wow, you help them even to do, networking?
Once you call them in those meetings, they get to interact. You give them that chance. Because once I'm in a circle and you are not in a circle, you will not know whether I'm in that circle. But once we give them the forum to come together, obviously they will have a chance to interact one and the other. They will help each other when it comes maybe to guarantorship. They will help each other to learn and also to understand better how they can improve on whatever we are offering. And also giving the members a chance to tell us what we have not done enough.
Wow, you take even the negative feedbacks from your people.
We take even the negative to help us grow, to help us offer better. Because as I told you, our circle is member-centered. So with that, at least we will have the opportunity to know this direction we are going. Maybe kuna kitu tunafanya yesi mzuri.
Oh, I love that. We have 1 minute. I want you to tell us, what is that one, because we have 1 minute, so that kirudi after break you can help us, understand the process of joining a circle and then dates to consider. But because we have 1 minute na tunaenda break, what is that one misconception that people have about circles?
I think people believe that saccos are for high-end people who have money.
For the tycoons, for the rich people.
People who will save a lot and people who have a lot to maybe spare. It's not about how much. It's about the willingness of the heart.
Wow, I love that.
Because once you commit yourself to start saving, you'll not even know how you went from one level to the other. So that is one thing that people feel, that you must have a lot for you to save. We don't save what is left after spending. We spend what is left after saving. Okay,
I love that. Let's hold on. After we go for a short break, for our viewers, I believe now your misconception, please debunk it. If you have that mentality that circles is for the rich people, you can also be part of a circle. Maswali gani hayo yanakusumbua sana? What is that one question that you want to ask? That is Mrs. Jane Mrs. Jane concerning that is the circles. Please talk to us on 0799 200 100. That is our WhatsApp number. Left now, when you go for when you come back, tutaangalia maswali, and don't forget, I've said go for a short break. When you come back, tutaangalia the process of joining a circle, and you as a person, what are the things that you're supposed to consider before you join a circle. Stay tuned. Back, and this is Money Monday, and for our viewers, let me ask you this question: are you looking for better and smarter ways to save? and invest? Or are you curious on how you can access affordable loans that are accessible? Well, how money, because we're talking about saccos, and in the first segment tumeongelea what makes a sacco different from what's the difference between a bank and a sacco. And now we have Mrs. Jane, we have Miss Jane here in studio, and allow me to welcome her back to the show as she continue enlightening having saccos. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And before doing the break, when you come back, we'll check that is you help us understand, or you give us a breakdown of joining a sacco. Let's say I want to join a sacco, give me a breakdown on how to do it.
Once you decide to join a sacco, as we said earlier, know your needs.
The need.
And also your goal, whatever you want to achieve. And that means that you have to maybe have the long-term plan. Because saccos, when you want to join a sacco, let it not be a short-term investment project. Let it be a long-term investment project. So when joining a sacco, make sure you know the products that they have. With whatever need you have, be sure they can cater for that need. Secondly, be sure that your savings are safe.
So those are the things to consider before you give us a breakdown of the process.
Yes. Be sure that they can meet your need. Secondly, the sacco must be regulated. We have saccos that maybe come up, they are not regulated. As I told you, there is a body that regulates sacco. So make sure that it is registered and it is regulated by the... You have to investigate.
Oh, you do your due diligence.
Do your due diligence. Make sure that you have every detail about the sacco. The third thing, look at the management. With the management means that is the sacco progressing ama nili ina fluctuate, this year iko chini, next year imepanda. You see that kind of a mishap. Maybe you will see from other people. I believe they are referrals. You can investigate even from other people what they think about the sacco, how the existing or the members who are willing to join talk about the sacco. That is, you can get the third-hand information. And also by visiting the sacco itself.
Okay, by visiting the sacco.
Okay. So we were on the regulation part. Ensure that it is governed by the body that governs saccos. So you have to do your due diligence. Also consider the financial status of the sacco. There are those statements of accounts, especially when it comes to the end of the financial year. We give a detail of the past year and the current year financial status. So you'll see a sacco that is progressing will obviously have an increment. Maybe in the asset base, the deposits and everything that pertains to the sacco. There is growth in membership. So it is a sacco that is progressing. We will not have a sacco whereby you'll find that this year we had, maybe last year we had our financial status as at this. The following year, you find that it has reduced. So that means there is something that is not going on well in that sacco. Also, consider the rates, the interest rates of the loans or the facilities that you're acquiring. When it comes to interest rates, maybe I can ask you a question. When I tell you that we are giving you a loan at 1% per month, and another person tells you that we are giving you a loan at 1% per month on reducing balance, which one would you choose?
On reducing, obviously.
Obviously. Because there is a difference. When someone tells you that they're giving loans on 1%, that means it's a flat rate.
It's constant.
It's constant. But when it comes to reducing balance, it means that the interest reduces every month. So you'll obviously pay less compared to that other person who pays at 1% flat rate. Obviously. So you'll be at advantage. So that means you should consider also the charges. The charges of loaning, the charges of the services that you are offered. Because when it comes again to the charges, you'll find that some saccos have, or some financial institutions have hidden charges. Kuna wenye watasema they have ledger fee. So your money, yes, you have deposited your money in your account. But as time goes by, when you check the balance, you'll find that there is some amount that has reduced. Ukiuliza imeenda wapi? Service charges. So every time you consider even the sacco or the financial institution to join, also consider the charges, because there are some who have those hidden charges, and at the end of it all, you'll be depositing your money and finding that as time goes by, instead of maybe earning some interest, it reduces.
It's reducing.
Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned that you're supposed to consider the management. How do the management affect my decision on joining a sacco?
When it comes to management, remember it's about your finances. It's about your hard-earned money. So once the management fails, you'll know from the success, from what I told you, the financial status. When the management is not okay, the financial status obviously will go down. But once the management is okay, especially we have maybe the ranks, we have the board of directors, we have the CEO, we have going down even to the staff. When it comes to now the managers, the board of directors, having constant checks on how the organization is progressing, and obviously when they are on check, they will ensure that every activity of the sacco goes on well, and that is where the profits come in. And that is where we find that when it comes to the AGM or the announcing of the interest rates on the deposits, you'll find that the last year maybe mlipata interest on this rate, the following year imepanda, because they have at least managed to safeguard your finances, and also maybe invested in other areas to bring in more profit to the members. So with the management, you'll know from how the sacco is progressing and also the financial status of the sacco.
Wow, I love that. I know after what wamesikiliza, now they are curious, what do I need to join a sacco?
Joining a sacco is very simple. It's not something that you need even to think of. No complications. It is very easy. I believe in most places you'll be asked for your KRA PIN, the KRA PIN, a copy of your ID, a passport photo, and registration fee. So once you have that, you're already a member. And then now to be a full member or a shareholder, you remember we talked of dividends. So you must save on share capital. When you now have the share capital, you become a full member of the sacco. Yes. Okay, so it's not a complicated process, the share capital, of which you can have it in cash and deposit, or save it over time. You're given time. So it's not a must for you to just deposit the whole amount, because hawezi ambia mtu anaenda kibarua aike 10,000 atago. Obviously kuna ile with time, you give them time to save for that mandatory shares.
And for the business people who are watching, and they're considering to join the saccos, how long does it take for a business person to get the loans and the credit?
Once you join, it takes a minimum of 3 months. So from 3 months onwards, you can take up a loan.
And kwa loan kuna vitu mingi zinahitajika ama, because sometimes it's complicated. I don't know why.
It's not complicated. I believe that as earlier stated, we have education days. I know where people feel it complicated is when it comes to guarantors. And with the education days and the forums that we give them to interact and to network, that is where you get people who will create that network. msaidiane, you be guarantors of each other. But when it comes to maybe you're a saver and you just need amount less than your savings, you can take up to 80% of your savings. Let's say you have 100,000, you can take up to 80,000 without a guarantor. Go sort your issue, boost your business, go farm, repay. Remember, these savings are still the ones that will give you interest at the end of the year. So yes, it has given you a loan within your savings, and yet still will give you interest at the end of the year. We also have another option whereby you can take up a loan with a collateral. Uko na shamba, uko na ploti, use that title deed. Itakusaidia kupata loan without using the guarantor way. So you can use either a guarantor, you can take up 80% of your savings, or use a collateral, that is title deed, to acquire the loan.
Okay, now we have addressed that is a day-to-day person and the business people. What about investors, you know? Can an investor join a sacco?
Yes.
How, you know, and invest there? Because, you know, it sounds like saccos is more of savings.
For an investor, there are people who typically just want to invest. That is, save and nothing else. They don't want the loans, they just want to have their money work for them, yet they have other things that they are doing out there. So for people who just want to maybe save and have their resources maybe in that one place, and you wanna feel it's safe for them, they will benefit when it comes to now the dividends. Because remember, your money is working for you even in your absence. So once you invest in that sacco, at the end of the year, kuna interest. So hizo returns is part of the income that you'll get from that investment that you did. And maybe for those that feel like they have big projects, they want to invest in major projects, we give loans. And it doesn't matter how long you have been in the sacco, as long as you are consistent in saving, you have a good record maybe in the previous loans that you have taken, and also your current account, that is the FOSA account, is active, you can acquire a loan based on your savings. So your savings is what qualifies you to the amount that you get
a loan.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that. And you know, when it comes to matters with money, lazima kuna risk. Lazima kuna risk. I don't know if you disclose what are the risks of joining a sacco. Are there any risks, you know?
Okay, risks are there, but I believe we have capped them enough. Yes, so the risk, I believe it is self-discipline. When you're personally disciplined and you're there focused on what you want to achieve, the risks are very minimal. Yes.
Okay, so the risks are very minimal, but you know, when it comes to, unajua kuna watu wenye huwa nasema I joined a sacco, nilikuwa na expect nitapata hii na hii, but I didn't get that, ama niliosho, you know. To curb this risk, what can people do?
As we say, do your due diligence. Ensure that the sacco you're joining is registered and regulated with the SASRA. So with that, it came up to cushion the members from getting into saccos that maybe will sink, as people say, ilituosha ama ili collapse na pesa zetu. So with the SASRA governing the saccos, that means you're safeguarded, because SASRA ensures that all the documents of the sacco, they ensure that they check to ensure that the sacco is progressing well, and in case they feel or they sense something is not going right, they come in. So be sure when you have done your due diligence to know that the sacco you're getting into is regulated, be sure that you are safe. Yeah.
And now let me
kwa sacco na uoga.
And now let me ask, if the sacco sinks, you know, do people get their money back, ama what happens?
Okay, I believe with the sacco sinking, there are those that maybe have done so, And maybe I won't get into that detail because I was not part of it and I don't know much about it. But I believe that currently what we are doing with the saccos that are regulated by the SASRA, it is very hard for them to sink. Yeah.
Wow. And we have that is 4 minutes. I ask this question, is it wise to invest in different saccos? You know, umeka pesa hapa, let's say for example, in this sacco A, umeka 50,000, in sacco B, invest 100,000. Is it wise, or you'd advise people to keep their money in one place?
There are people who go to that extra mile of investing in several saccos. As long as you're capable to manage
the management part.
Yes. Because you may be in both saccos, yet you're failing in one. So after you have done your research, you have felt that this is the right sacco to be in, you can choose one sacco that will help you all the way. So that your attention and all that you feel you need to do is focused on that one sacco. And as long as you have done your research and you know that you're sure and you feel that your heart is at peace in that sacco, focus on that. But if you feel that you need also to diversify, it is a personal decision. But I would advise that if someone feels that this sacco meets my needs, meets my expectations, just be in that sacco. Yeah.
You've mentioned something to do with the attention and focus. You know, the people walianza sacco alafu wakatoka. Could it be that pesa ndio shida ama they were not that determined?
Kuna watu wanaingianga, after some time they feel like maybe the expectations were not met. I think those people didn't understand well how the sacco operates. And maybe the expectation was different. And when it comes to getting into a sacco, I say that we should do our research and know what the sacco entails, how it operates, because you'll find someone coming to say that, oh, I didn't know about this share capital. Not they get to the point of maybe feeling like they were lied to. So when joining a sacco, ensure you know everything about the sacco, so that there will be no those uncertainties or maybe things that come up later that you didn't know about. Ensure you know everything about the sacco before joining.
Wow.
Yeah.
I believe there are many people who are watching us and now you've sparkled interest in them joining the saccos. I want you to address them. You give them a reason, as you give them 5 tips on how saccos can help them unlock their financial freedom. That is a camera.
Okay. Thank you to our viewers, and I believe that you can really grow in a sacco once you put it into action. It's not about just saying, I'll join a sacco, but putting it into action. Once you join a sacco can help you grow your business. It can also give you the discipline to save. We know that most of us will say that I want to save, and maybe you put it in your phone, in the M-Shwari or wherever you put it. But after some days, you have withdrawn that amount. So it will not be something that is long-term. You have to keep it to a disciplined way, that you engage yourself into saving in a disciplined way. So a sacco gives you that discipline. Also, when it comes to credit in a sacco are very affordable. They are not affected by inflation. So you can be rest assured that once you join a sacco and you take up credit, it will not be affected by the changes that come unprepared. Yeah, so I believe that once you join a sacco, you will grow as a person. You will develop your discipline when it comes to saving, and also it will help you achieve your goals and your long-term projects that you have maybe tried fulfilling when it comes to paying cash. It will give you credit to fulfill those projects within a very short time compared to you saving cash for that project.
Wow.
Yeah.
I believe that they'll take that to the bank. Please share your number so that anyone who is interested in the sacco atakutafuta.
Once again, I want to welcome you to Cosmopolitan Sacco. We have various branches. You can visit us. We have branches in Gilgil, Naivasha, Molo, Lengroni, Maimahio. We also have a branch here in Bahati and Subukia. For any inquiries, you can reach out to me on 0702 768 377. Thank you so much, our viewers, for listening in, and I believe that with all that we have spoken today, you will consider joining a sacco, and preferably Cosmopolitan Sacco. Yes.
Thank you so much for availing yourself for the show. We are looking forward to having you more and more. Well, and that brings us to the end of Money Monday. Just a reminder that we have the Sonship Summit that will be happening here at Mizpah Press Center. That is this June from the 23rd to the 27th, this June 2025 at Mizpah Press Center. This is a gathering that is seeking to restore the hearts of the sons and the fathers together. Please purpose to attend. For more information, inquiries, bookings, talk to us on 07-277-66553. I'm Angela Kabete, and I believe you have learned a lot when it comes to the power of saccos. Till next time, bye bye.